All right, hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Z Talks episode 21. Which, yeah, it's crazy that like every time I do a live stream every Thursday, the next one just rolls around like straight away. Like it feels like I've talked to like all these guys, Elliot, Norin, and Jamie, like 2 days ago, being like, "Hey, look, do you want to come on the stream this week?" So it's great to have you guys all again. All these guys have been on Z Talks before, so if it is your first time seeing them, all the links are in the description box down below. So please go subscribe to Elliot at I.M O Reviews, Norin Radd89, and Jamie Elliot in the front row. So how's everyone doing today?
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
over here.
Awesome. And I see Elliot in your background. It looks like you've got some like Halloween lights or something going on over there.
Oh yeah, we're all decorated. We've got the pumpkin lights on. Yeah, we're all set.
Nice. Yeah, and I know you guys are obviously big fans of Halloween. Jamie, are you a Halloween fan as well?
Yeah, we celebrate and we definitely go trick-or-treating and things like that. But like movie-wise, not so much of a big fan. We don't do the whole scary movie marathons or anything like that. But yeah, we definitely decorate, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, awesome. Well, I know like you guys have kind of been tailing a little bit on your YouTube channels for Halloween. So Norin's been covering some Halloween movies. Elliot made a intro that nearly cut off his fingers, which was pretty funny, I must say.
Not funny at all. Bloody idiot. You're
I know. Can't take me anywhere.
Nah.
Not even the back garden.
No, you fall over the dumpsters, you bloody cut your finger off. My God.
I know. Yeah, it was the thing is as well, what makes it worse is you could see it coming as well. It sort of all went in slow motion and I put my finger in a stupid place and still did it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just prone to accidents, man. Every time I talk to you, it's like, oh, I've hurt myself today, I've done this, I've done that. I'm like,
I think the last time I was on was the time when I fell out of a bin. So it's 2 for 2 now.
So the next time you see Elliot will be the next time he's had an accident of some sort. And I'll be like, right, come on, Z Talks then.
He'll be in the hospital bed and you'll be like, let's do a live stream.
Right. Right, well, exactly.
Boy, Elliot.
Well, it's a good job he's got Mrs. I.M.O Reviews who took care of him and helped his fingers anyway. Otherwise, he may have not had fingers at this point. So it's all good. So yeah, welcome guys. Thank you for taking the time to join me on Z Talks today. Elliot, Norin, and Jamie, pleasure having you back again. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around all you guys for anyone who haven't seen you before or anyone who's watching this back who don't know about your channels. So Elliot, I always get the pointing thing wrong. There you go. Near enough. There we go. Elliot, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about your channel and what everyone can expect to see over there?
Yeah, sure. So I am Elliot and my channel is called I.M.O Reviews. We review movies. It's all very opinion based, hence I.M.O in my opinion. And we do cover as many topics as we can. I have a lot of blind spots with movies, musicals, things like that. So I still try and challenge myself to try and find something to like about them. I purposely watch terrible movies as well to see if there's anything to like about them. We also do classic movies. We really do cover pretty much everything. We recently did a video essay on the game series Bioshock, and that was a lot of fun to do. And obviously being October, there's a lot of horror movie reviews coming up, old, new, classic ones. There's all sorts in the pipeline. So yeah, that's I.M.O Reviews for you.
Nice. Yeah, and you can find Elliot's in the link down below in the description box for his channel. Please go subscribe to him. Recently, not too long ago, past 300 subscribers as well. So big congratulations, man. It was a long time coming.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, welcome, dude. And yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever you've got coming on your channel and those Halloween movies as well. I was kind of debating trying to find the worst ever Halloween made movies and review them. But so you might get one review out of me in this October season for that. Wait and see.
I'll hold you to it.
But in the meantime, you can find a lot of horror reviews over on Elliot's channel. And next, I want to introduce my second guest, who is only contactable on Twitter. That is Norin Radd89. So Norin, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about your channel?
Yes, thank you for having me. So typically on my channel, I do movie reviews, rankings, but I also do like physical media stuff, going out and buying Blu-rays and DVDs and all that stuff. And mostly right now, because it's October, it's all horror rankings or horror reviews and stuff like that. So that's like my main focus right now. And I'll be shooting probably like a video about my decorations in the house, how it looks kind of before and after too, pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, man. And I know like you're a huge horror fan. I watched your like September pickups video yesterday of like Satanic Panic I saw in there, and I was like, oh wow, what's that movie?
Oh yeah, that was glorious. That was a good one.
but I learned that it was like a Shudder movie as well, or it's on Shudder. So
yes.
Agreed. Yeah, so I hope like good things from your review. And yeah, Norin's just definitely a specialty in horror. So please go over and check out his channel. He's not too far off from 200 subscribers. So if we can help him get to that point, that would be awesome. So yeah, his link is in the description box down below. And last but certainly not least, Jamie Lee, who I've collabed on multiple times on my channel, recently started kind of like a bi-weekly kind of live stream series as well. So Jamie, for anyone who doesn't know yourself, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what In the Front Row is all around?
Sure. I'm Jamie Lee, but I go by In the Front Row, obviously, and my channel is pretty much the same as these guys. I do movie and TV show reviews and reactions to trailers and things like that, and I'm lucky enough to get interviews with some of the actors from the movies and TV shows. So that's what my channel's all about, short and sweet.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Jamie Lee has done like quite a lot of interviews on the channel of like Cobra Kai stars, Stranger Things, certain like Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead or Tales, one of those ones.
One of the many spin-offs, yeah.
But yeah, got a lot of great interviews on the channel, does reviews, does watch parties as well. She's currently watching all the Star Wars movies for the first time ever, which is crazy to think like yourself and others haven't seen Star Wars, but yeah, it's always fun. So yeah, Jimmy's link is in the description box below. Please go subscribe to her. And I just want to start things off before we go into the comments. I'm going to go through all you guys and girls. First, I'm going to go through Jamie Lee. As of like this weekend, have you got any like Halloween movies you're going to watch, or any TV or movies that you plan to see?
I was talking to you about this the other day. I was like, you need to give me like the tamest scary movie so that I can say that I've done a scary movie on my channel.
Right.
I don't know. In all honesty, I've got a lot of content coming up, but yeah, I don't know if any of it's scary movie related, but I've promised myself that I will watch a scary movie in all of October. So yeah, I'm just sort of waiting for the tamest one to be presented to me. But then yeah, I'll watch it and maybe do a review on that.
Right. Awesome.
So
well,
no,
Elliot,
not at the moment.
Elliot, Norin, have you guys got a tame scary movie you could recommend to me?
Elliot's won't be tame. He'll give me a hard one just to be a cheeky bugger.
What about What We Do in the Shadows? Does that count?
Is that the vampire one?
Yeah, that TV show, yeah.
Taika Waititi, vampire comedy. I was
going to say, is that comedy?
This kind of horror comedy, I suppose. It's more of a comedy than a horror, but there's some elements of horror in there. I think it counts.
I'll take that one.
I remember I've seen parts of that movie because my partner loves it, but I watched it and I was bored to tears by it. But maybe it just wasn't me and I wasn't getting the humor of it. But Jamie, you may love it. Elliot likes it.
Probably.
So, we've got Ryan saying review Gremlins. Yeah,
you know what? I haven't watched Gremlins, but at our movie world, there's the oh my god, I hope it's from that. Is it called Gizmo? Is that like the main character?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's like a character dressed as him at our movie world, and Chelsea, she made me get a photo with him the other day because she was like, oh, I want him. And I'm like, you don't know what he's from? Like, I didn't even know what the hell he's from. And like, I had a fair idea that it was Gremlins, but yeah, she just loves this big, fluffy, like white and brown thing. And it's got like, she said, Mum, what's wrong with its hands? Because it had like 3 fingers. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what this thing even is. So yeah, I might have to watch that one.
Right. Yeah, well, Jamie, you're not alone. I haven't seen Gremlins either.
Yeah.
I know I'm far behind. I can't imagine how many movies is going to get mentioned in the comments that I haven't seen again.
Yeah.
The long running joke.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Right.
People give you a lot of shit for it. Hey.
Well, it's well deserved. Jason is saying What We Do in the Shadows is great. Set in New Zealand. It's a mockumentary.
Yeah, it's very quirky humor. It is one of those ones where you kind of have to get in a groove with it. If you're not into that style of humor, the whole thing is going to be pretty painful for you. But if you can find that groove, it's like a laugh a minute type of film. I personally have a lot of fun with it.
All right.
Yeah, I've heard good things, and I know my partner Emma, like the Christmas tree put up every year. She's got Gizmo at the top of it, and I've just never seen the movie. So yeah, so well, there's a couple of recommendations there, Jamie. Jacob Martin's got another one which I'll get to in a second. But I want to fire it over to Norin. So Norin, what movies are you checking out this weekend or TV shows?
Oh, probably this weekend. I'm actually doing for my top 10. My next ranking is going to be like ghost stories and supernatural films. So I'm going to be watching like Poltergeist and Paranormal Activity and like all that kind of supernatural possession type stuff.
Right. Yeah, nice. And have you got like some on your list already, or you wait to watch them and then make the list?
Oh yeah, there's some. Like Poltergeist is one of my favorites. Like I'm actually famously like known for just like I think that is a better movie than Exorcist, so I always go to Poltergeist. So that's one of my go-tos. But then I'm actually watching some first-time ones too, just to see how I feel about them and stuff like that.
Sure. Oh, okay. I've never heard anyone say Poltergeist better than The Exorcist, mine. So
yeah, dude. I think it is.
But did you see that Poltergeist is getting like a 4K restoration as well?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I was tempted to get that. I really was, but I actually spent some money on the Shocktober sale for Scream Factory or Shout Factory. Right. So I got some more Halloween movies coming pretty soon, like some of the 4Ks. So
get you. Yeah, nice, dude. I know like the Scream Factory have like some really nice steel books as well.
Yeah.
So don't blame me for getting them. So awesome, man. Sounds good. And Elliot, how about you? What are you checking out this weekend?
This weekend, stepping out of Halloween themes, there is that new Amsterdam movie that I think is coming out. I think it might be coming out Friday, actually. It might be tomorrow it comes out. So I'm hoping to get to that at some point. I'm not quite sure when. But horror themed, I don't think I've got anything planned. But last night, for pretty much the first time ever, I watched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was a lot of fun. I've sort of seen it before, but I watched it when I was like 12, and it was on like one of the TCM channels at like 3 a.m. with all the adverts in it. And I was sort of watching it like this. I was terrified. So I've sort of seen it before, but last night was the first time sitting down and actually experiencing it. And I was blown away. I had such a good time with it. Although I imagine Jamie and Mike might not agree. Maybe that's just me and Norin.
Well, I've actually seen the original Texas Chainsaw a couple of months ago for the first time. I actually really like the movie.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think even up until now, a lot of it stands up. And there's some really fun trivia behind it as well.
Yeah.
Or interesting trivia. Not maybe fun's the wrong word. Interesting trivia. So no, I like that movie, dude. But yeah, I'm glad that you actually checked out a good movie because your recent reviews have been absolute stinkers.
It's been tough. It really has.
Man, like I know you reviewed the Monsters. I know Norin reviewed the Monsters as well.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you both.
Take pity.
And Jamie, that's not a movie to start watching for Halloween either. By the way.
No. I look at Elliot's ones and he's like, "This is shit. This is shit. This is shit." Great. Don't need to watch that, and that. Great.
Yeah, it's because there's been a lot of 1 out of 10 reviews. I've been really enjoying them, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone is.
Oh man, there's plenty of movies I've seen recently where it's been like terrible ones, but I can't go into spoilers because they've just come out or they're not haven't been released yet. Like that one I watched yesterday was Dark Glasses. That was Dario Argento's new movie as well, and I was like, Dario Argento, well-known director. What a stinker that was. It's coming on next week, so I might talk about spoilers then, but I can't for now. But yeah, the guys got some awesome stuff lined up, and with that in mind, we've got some comments, so we'll go through some comments, answer your guys' questions, leave them all in the comment box, and we'll get to them. But thank you for everyone who's watching live so far. So first one is from Ryan. So hey Ryan, hope you're doing good. Thank you for stopping in from RWR Movie Reviews. He says, hey everyone, what do you all think about the movie Dumb Money coming out? It's following the events of GameStop skyrocketing due to Reddit. Shailene Woodley, if I said that right, Seth Rogen and Paul Dano are in it. So, firstly, do any of you know about this movie?
No, I'm out. No idea.
Nope.
First I'm hearing about it, but I like the sound of it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's a good cast. I don't know if you guys
Definitely.
know this or not, but they've just released like a documentary of this on Netflix. I think it might have came out like maybe beginning of the week or late last week. Yeah, so I don't know. Did you guys know about the whole GameStop thing or not?
Very vaguely, not the whole story, and I'm not very clued up on how stock markets actually work, but I get the general idea of what happened. Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, so I remember like when this happened, I think this was like maybe late last year, or maybe early last year, sorry. And I remember like when it happened, I didn't know like the full background of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but me and Jimmy were talking about that they've just made a kind of like mini series on Tubi of like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial recently. And we were saying on like kind of the bi-weekly show that we do is like it seems like it's a bit too soon for something like that to be made, because it's kind of fresh in all of our minds. And I personally think like the same for this movie. Personal opinion is it's good cast, but it just seems as if GameStop would happen like it seems like maybe a month or two ago, but obviously it was longer, but it seems like that. So Nora, I'm going to go over to you first. Do you think this would be a movie that you would want to check out?
Cast-wise, definitely sounds interesting, and I'm like, I just kind of fallen out of love with games recently. It's been a really long time, like for me to be obsessed with games how I used to be back in the day. Like I used to play games all the time and go to GameStop, and now I don't ever. So, but I would cast-wise, I would definitely check it out because of them. I support Paul Dano. Like pretty much anything he's in, I'll go watch it.
Yeah, and I mean, he was certainly impressive in the Batman earlier this year as well, where I just kind of got to know him really. So yeah, no, it's fair. And Jamie, do you think this is a movie that you would check out?
Again, probably because of the cast and probably because of games, but otherwise, yeah, I've never heard of it, haven't seen any trailers, no idea really. I'd be going in blind, but sure, why not?
Yeah, same. And Elliot, how about you?
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued. I like the sound of the cast and the plot. I think it could be quite interesting. The one thing that's sort of holding me back is I'm wondering who the director is. If it's someone like Adam McKay, who did The Big Short, I think it could be a real big hit. If it's someone not quite so capable, it could be a bit of a slog. So I don't know. I'm sort of reserving judgment, but I totally agree with you. There's loads of these projects coming out, and they're sorry, they're way too soon. There's also, I imagine it's probably only in the UK, but there's also a Boris Johnson drama on ITV, and it's like, do we really need this right now? Like right now?
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, I think like with the Boris Johnson one, so we spoke about this as well like the other week, is I feel like at the moment I can only comment for, I guess, myself here, but I don't think like Boris Johnson is like a memorable prime minister, or at least not for me. Maybe in the history books, maybe in the history books when like say 50 years time, people are like, oh, what was COVID in 2020 and who was there at the time? People might be like, oh, so someone called Boris was in charge, kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's that mini series as well. I know it was Kenneth Branagh, so I was like, oh, good name. But because the subject matter, I was like, nah, you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of sick of hearing about COVID if I can. So yeah. So it's fair. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Elliot, you made a good point also about Adam McKay. I really like The Big Short.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if he did it as you mentioned, I think it could be a good one. But if it's a different director, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so it's a good point. We've also got Jacob Martin saying, what's up, everyone? So, hey, Jacob, hope you're doing good. So the next one he's asked is maybe one that I can't answer, but you guys probably could. He says, what are your go-to movies to watch around Halloween? Which I think I was asked on my recent hangout and chat, and I was like, I can't answer that because I personally don't have like a go-to movie I watch every Halloween.
I think I asked you that question.
Yeah, right.
I asked you that question.
I tell you what, I will be watching actually. Tomorrow I'll be watching the new episode on season 2 of Chucky. That's what I'll be watching tomorrow.
Nice.
First season was awesome. So, Jamie, because I know you're not really a movie person, but do you have any go-to movies for Halloween?
No, I'm probably the wrong person to be on at Halloween time. I don't do scary. No, I've got things coming up. Like I'm really excited to watch Wednesday, which is probably like the most, I don't even want to say horror because it's not, but the most like Halloween-y thing that's coming up. But even that's not even in October, which is a bit of a shame. It's November. So anyway, so probably that.
Yeah.
That's all
Well,
I
think that's a big missed opportunity to release that in October.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Strange.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like Jamie, yeah, like I agree with you. Like that Wednesday show, I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah.
Looks pretty
I
good.
think it's, like a modern take on it. I think it'll be fun. Or hopefully anyway. The trailer looks good.
Yeah, let's hope. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. So Elliot, how about you? What's your go-to Halloween movies?
Well, funnily enough, to piggyback off of what Jamie said, I love the original. Well, I don't know if it is the original, but the Raul Julia Adams Family with I forget who plays Morticia in that one, but it's the one that came out in the 90s, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just nostalgic to me, and I love the set design as well. I love how horror movies were made back then. Everything feels real. It feels gross, and like you don't want to touch it, but you're also morbidly curious about touching it, but you regret touching it if you did. And it's just, it takes me back to my childhood, that movie. I love the performances. I love how camp and cheesy it is. It's just a good time.
Yeah. So that's a go-to one for every Halloween?
Pretty much, yeah. It's definitely on the list to do.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Surprise, another movie I've not seen. But I've heard great things about it, and I think Christopher Lloyd is in it as well.
Yes, he is. I think he plays Lurch, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while since I've seen it now, I mention it. So much for a go-to.
No, well, that's awesome, dude. So, yeah, Elliot's got the Addams Family. And Norin, how about you?
Oh, for Halloween Day, I always have to watch at least one Jason Voorhees movie, and that's my favorite franchise. So, but it's usually Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. That's my favorite one. And then I always do John Carpenter's Halloween, and then Night of the Demons, which is probably my favorite Halloween atmosphere movie. It's a like 90s kind of demon possession type horror movie and stuff, and it's really cool. Oozes a lot of like Halloween atmosphere, so I love that one, especially on Halloween Day.
Get you. I've never heard of that one.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's about this group of kids who want to go stay at this place called Hull House, and it's of course like this creepy old abandoned house, and it's Halloween, and they go stay there. And once you cross over like the gates and go in there, it's like, you know, like evil spirits and everything start kind of possessing them and taking over them and stuff.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Definitely not a movie for Jamie, put it that way.
I'm sitting there thinking, how do I say nicely? Cool. Yeah, the scariest thing I think I've watched is like Blair Witch Project. That's probably like the one that really, scared me the most. I don't know, just something. Maybe it was the fact that at the time I thought it was, like true. As like gullible as I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. Maybe that's probably the scariest thing I've watched.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Cool that like hearing everyone kind of go to Halloween movies. So like me and Jimmy don't really have them, so it's cool hearing like your guys' experience of them. So thank you for the question, Jacob. We've got the viewer Drew saying, "Hey, what's up?" So hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew.
Good. We've also got Josh saying, "Hey, everyone." So hey, Josh. We're doing good.
Hey, Josh.
And we've got the viewer Drew asking, aside from Saving Private Ryan, what do you think is the best war movie ever made? For me, Hacksaw Ridge is a close second.
Ooh.
No, mine is.
Okay,
I know mine is. Mine's gonna be Dunkirk. I think Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk is
okay.
Because Saving Private Ryan is my favorite war movie, and like for years and years and years, no good war movies were coming out, and then everybody was talking about Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and then when I saw it and went to see it, it's such an experience. It's like one of those films that you just have to watch and you'll never forget it because it makes you feel like a certain way and you react like physically because of how the emotional the scenes are, what's going on. So yeah, Dunkirk was definitely right up there with Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. I remember seeing Dunkirk in the cinema, and I thought it was like all right, but obviously I think it needs a rewatch. It's been like that many years since it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool, man. Cool about your passion for it, and I agree that I think it was like a big spell of time. We didn't get like a lot of good war movies or memorable ones, at least. For me, I'm gonna go. Well, Hacksaw Ridge, I'm a huge fan of. Love that movie. I've never seen Saving Private Ryan, so I can't comment on that one, but I know it's a classic. And then, have any of you guys and girls seen Casualties of War with Michael J. Fox?
Can't say I have, no.
Yeah, so Michael J. Fox in a serious war movie, and it's fantastic. Very underrated. So those are my two picks. Elliot, how about you?
I'm stuck between two. I can't quite decide which one's the best of the two. So my two would have to be Full Metal Jacket or Apocalypse Now. I think both of them are just absolute masterpieces. They're probably equal on, personally, if you're asking me, I'd say they're in the same Mount Rushmore as Saving Private Ryan would be.
Yeah, so I know Jason Neal Millennial was commenting the other day saying that Full Metal Jacket I think's on Netflix, or at least in America. Because I haven't seen that movie. Shock. So I do want to check it out though. But yeah, Apocalypse Now I still haven't seen either. So I think I got a 4K recently, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be surprised. It would look great in 4K.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're both, I will warn you though, I don't think either of them are quite what you're expecting. They're not your typical bang, flash, screaming and that sort of thing. A lot of it dives into what war does to someone's psyche and how it deteriorates you and the sort of aspects of PTSD. It sort of looks at the inner self more so than the death and destruction around you. But that's actually why I like them both so much.
Yeah, to be honest, it sounds really interesting because like one of my favorites, like Hacksaw Ridge, Drew mentioned here. Like I really like that movie because obviously it's about the guy who doesn't want to shoot a gun. Yeah. So like I like that element of it because I feel like that's not explored a lot. It's all just about two sides fighting, boom, 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 done kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good pick. Jamie, do you have a favorite war movie?
Nah, I'm out. I refuse to work. I feel so bad being on the channel this week. Like, don't do horror, don't do war. But to sort of piggyback a little bit off Norin, like, I don't know. I try to escape in movies and TV shows like from real life and war and documentaries on like, the people that go missing and are never found or like unsolved sort of stuff. I don't like watching any of that. Like it makes me feel really sad. And as you said, like it plays on your mind after it. That's the stuff that I really don't need in my life because like already stuff like that Jeffrey Dahmer thing. Like I know people keep talking about that, but like, and they say, oh, it's so scary. But like legitimately the other night, like I woke up and had a nightmare because of the fact, not that it's like gory or anything like that, but just the fact that it's real. Like there are sick people out there. Like that's the scariest part. So yeah, and like war in general, I don't like it. So I don't really want to sit through a movie that I'm going to be crying and then after it can't go, oh, well, it was all pretend it's all right because that does happen. People don't come back. And when they do suffer from PTSD and stuff like that. So I don't know, guys. I feel bad being on here, but that's just my opinion of it. I don't like war and I don't like that aspect of like real life stuff when it's like sad and depressing, I guess.
No, hey, that's fair enough. In each to their own. I mean, like I know a lot of people don't like violence in movies or like swearing and stuff.
I'm down for that. I'll take them ones.
Yeah, but each to their own. So, but aside that though, thanks for the question, Drew. We've also got Jason Neal Millennial saying, "Hey, what a great YouTuber, great group of YouTubers." So, hey, Jason, hope you're doing good, my man.
Thank you.
Hi, Jason.
And he also says, "Hey, Elliot, the beard convention has decided to renew your application."
What if I record like this from now on?
Well, hey, you could. I've got Roddy saying, "Hey, oh, cheeky guys and girls." So, hey, Roddy, hope you're doing good. And Ryan says, "Elliot, do you plan on doing another hot takes video?"
I've been thinking about this, yes. And I can't make any promises just yet, but looking at what I've got lined up in the schedule, there might be one in November. That's all I can say so far. I don't know when, if it's the start, middle, or end, or what the topic will be. but I think I can get one in before the end of the year. Yeah.
And what season will it be there? Are you guys coming into winter, or when is winter time when you really can't have that cold water on you?
It's going to be cold, so I'm going to have to see what mood I'm in, if I'm going to chuck water over my head or not. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I would probably say, Jim, like our winter's probably like started now, really.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true.
Cold.
Yeah.
Elliot, being the gardener crowd, can tell you the best.
Even if it's just in preparation, and save it in the bank for later. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You'll have to do it like during the day when it's at least a little bit warmer.
Yeah. Put the radiators on or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And not with our energy bills raising in October.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'll light a fire. Yeah.
Elliot will be out there with the wood, and he'll be with some candle in or whatever.
Do we really trust him getting the wood with like a chainsaw at the moment, though? Like,
no,
he'll lose his entire finger.
I might need some help with this one. Yeah.
It might be a job for Mrs. I.M.O Reviews.
Yeah, I'll sit on the couch. Yeah.
We've also got Jason and the commentator saying James Bond is 60 years old now. Do you have any nostalgia for the 60s and 70s James Bond movies? So very quickly, I've only ever seen the Daniel Craig movie, so mine's a no. Elliot?
I'm terrible with the years, so I'm really sorry if these aren't from the 60s and 70s, but I love, it's Octopussy with Roger Moore. I think that one's great. And is it, sorry, I'm terrible with the names here. I think, is it You Only Live Twice or something like that? I think it's that one.
With Sean Connery.
With Sean Connery. I think that one's quite fun. I don't think it's ranked that highly in like the Bond ranking, but personally I think it's quite fun. It's the one I remember the most, with the underground lair and everything, and people coming through the ceiling and stuff. That's what sticks out in my mind. So terribly sorry if they're not from those decades, but yeah, they're the nostalgic ones to me.
Yeah, hey, well, nice, man. You've seen more than I have, so it's all good. And Norin, how about you?
Oh yeah, James Bond's one of my favorite franchises, and Sean Connery is my top favorite one. And my favorite film of his is Thunderball, which I think is the third one he did. So I think that's like probably like late 60s, early 70s. And that one is famously known for having like some of the first underwater camera like fight sequences. And they're not the greatest, of course, because it's very dated. But I just find it fascinating that it was the first real underwater use of cameras, and they're shooting at each other with harpoons and stuff. And that was Thunderball is one of my top favorites.
Yeah. Oh, awesome, dude. Yeah, I didn't even know about that one. Because I know like Roger Moore did like a few of them. And I know like Sean Connery did a few. And then there's like Timothy Dalton, I think, may have been in there somewhere.
Yeah, George Lazenby did some, Pierce Brosnan, and yeah, Dalton and Daniel Craig and Connery. Yep.
Right.
Can't forget GoldenEye either. GoldenEye and Goldfinger, actually.
I know of GoldenEye because of the video game.
Yeah, I think most people do, actually, more than the film.
All I know about other James Bond ones, apart from the Daniel Craig ones, is I think it's Pierce Brosnan and Is It Die Another Day? In that terrible like CG with the boat on the jet ski. That's all I know. Jamie, have you seen any James Bond movies?
I've like watched little bits and pieces. My dad was a big James Bond fan, but I've watched little bits and I'm like, that is so ridiculous. Like, no way. But then I find myself like watching. So yeah, they're a little bit repetitive. And like, as Norin said, like, how many are we up to? You know, like there just seems to be the same thing over and over again. So I can't say that I've sat down and watched a whole one, but yeah, I've definitely seen bits and pieces. I think the main one that I remember, the main Bond that I remember is Pierce Brosnan. But I heard so many things about, like, again, another one, and the guy from Bridgerton being in it. So like, I mean, maybe if he's in there, maybe I'll be more inspired to sit through a whole movie, I guess. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm not too sure about some of them. So at least you've actually seen some of them though, which is awesome.
Yeah, my dad was a big fan.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys have definitely got more experience of James Bond over than I have anyway, so I've always seen the recent ones. We got Jacob saying, Jamie, Gremlins is a good movie that's not horribly scary, but still fun for what it is. Another one I recommend is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
Yeah.
I
As I
think
said, Gremlins is... Sorry, Mike.
I'm saying I think you'd probably be creeped out by that one, though.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say Gremlins is probably one. Like, after seeing that character, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can handle this guy. If my daughter thinks he's cute and cuddly, I think that's a movie for me. So yeah, I might give that one a go.
Awesome. Well, if you do, let us know what you think. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I got Ryan saying Texas Chainsaw Massacre is awesome. Yeah,
totally agree.
The new one, not so much.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the Chosen one saying, even guys. So, hey, Joe, hope you're doing good. Norin says, do you have a favorite classic horror movie, Norin, that hasn't come out in the last 30 years or so?
Oh, a favorite classic? Well, probably, because the last time they remade this was the 90s, and it was Tom Savini did Night of the Living Dead in the 90s. But that's my favorite black and white movie, Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero's. And I saw that probably when I was like 7. And my grandpa showed me that movie because he loves black and white movies and he loves old school stuff. So my grandpa showed me it. And yeah, it blew me away. So probably Night of the Living Dead, because I think the last time, they remade that was the 90s. But if I had to go another one, it'd probably be House of Frankenstein. That's a really good one too, and that's from 1944, I believe, with Lon Chaney and stuff, and Bela Lugosi and everything.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know you're like a big horror nut, so I was kind of waiting for your answer. Quick question: Night of the Living Dead. The remake, is that the one with Tony Todd? Am I mistaken here?
Yeah, he plays the main protagonist. Yeah.
Right. So I remember seeing that one because I've not seen the original black and white one. But I remember seeing that one, and I actually quite enjoyed that remake.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do like that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it still holds up or not, but I remember that one quite vaguely. So yeah, well, thank you for the question, Jason. We've got Michael the Realist saying, hey, Mike and guest, sorry I haven't been around lately. Well, no worries. Hi, Michael. It's great to have you.
All right.
Michael.
Jacob asks, Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger?
Tough.
I'm going to go Michael Myers because I haven't actually seen any Freddy Krueger movies personally, so there's only one answer. Norin, because you're a huge horror guy, how about you?
I'm going to go Michael Myers. My mom will probably be upset at me because she's a Fredhead. She's a huge Fredhead. But Michael Myers I would pick over Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. Awesome choice. Jamie?
Same as you, Mike. Haven't seen the Freddy stuff, so I'm going to go Mike.
Okay, that's 3-0 at the minute. Elliot, how about you?
Come on, Elliot. Don't let us down.
I've got to stand up for Freddy here. I have my pick the table with the guy. I'm going to stand up for Freddy. I'm Krueger all the way.
Yeah. Well, 3-1. But how about you guys in the comments? Do you guys prefer Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger? Let us know. Jason says some classic horror movies I enjoy are Carrie and The Shining. Yeah, I love The Shining. Yeah, I love The Shining. I've seen the remake of Carrie, but not the original one.
I'm the same, Mike. Actually, I've only ever seen the new Carrie rather than the old one.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think there's a collab coming to you guys way very soon, so keep an eye out. But yeah, Jamie, have you seen Carrie or The Shining?
I think I've seen Carrie. And is it the girl from Kick-Ass?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I have seen that one then. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
I mean, going by the names of better movies that I've watched. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. As I said, not horror. But yeah, I have seen that one.
And Norin, how about you? I'm assuming you've seen them both.
Yeah, probably the original as well, huh?
Yeah, I've seen them all in the originals. The original Carrie has Sissy Spacek in it, and it's great. Fabulous. And The Shining, I like The Shining, but I actually think Dr. Sleep is a better movie. And it's a sequel, and it came out like 20 plus years after The Shining, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think Dr. Sleep is better.
I really like Dr. Sleep, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good sequel to The Shining. No spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. But Exploitation Reviews. So hey, hope you're doing good. Says Christopher Lloyd plays Uncle Fester in Adam's Family.
Yeah, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, yes, he does. He's got the bald head and everything. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Jason's saying the same. So no worries. Jacob says, John Carter's Halloween is a go-to for me on Halloween time, I'm assuming. Yeah, great movie. Are you guys interested for Halloween Ends coming out next week in the UK?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I'm a bit with both of you guys. Like, I'm interested to see how it's going to end. But I don't think it's going to end at the same time.
If it ends, yeah.
Right. I think it's just because, like, Blumhouse have just bought the rights to Halloween franchise, so I can't imagine to be like, oh, we'll make 3 movies and then that's our like lease done with the kind of license. I don't know. Norin, how about you? How do you think the movie's going to end?
I've been thinking about it a lot recently because I've been talking to people on Twitter and like doing YouTube videos about it. But I think it definitely, in this one, I would totally be comfortable if they actually eventually killed Michael Myers, the actual character, like in this film. I wouldn't be mad. But I think Jamie Lee Curtis's character has to die too. I think it would be really cool if both of them went out, just blaze of glory, and then that was the end.
Right. Yeah, I think after all this time, like, I think it would be good if Jamie Lee did get killed off, because surely she's not going to keep coming back for more Halloween movies.
No.
But you wouldn't think so, would you? Jamie, are you going to be checking it out?
No, we talked about this the other day. Probably not.
No.
I'm not even up to date with the last one, the Halloween Kills, was it? Is that the one before
Yeah.
this? Yeah, I haven't even watched that. So probably not, to be honest. But yeah, not for me. Sorry, guys. Again, hey, anyone in the comments want to talk about something other than scary movies? Fuck me dead, Mike. Oh, I feel so bad.
Well, we have got a couple of other comments actually further down a little bit about not scary movies. So, and we've got Elliot's best friend joining them on stream.
Frankie boy, who's this?
Hi.
Hello, darling.
Hi.
I'm not gonna lie, I was secretly captivated when he was on the couch before. I was just like, yes, I'm listening to scary movies.
He was just casually cleaning his privates in the background while we were chatting there.
I love how Frankie's coming to join us when we talk about scary movies as well. He's
he must be getting scared, bless him.
Yeah.
Hello. What are you doing?
And we've got Exploitation saying Night of the Demons is basically Evil Dead but Halloween themed. Would you agree with that, Norin?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like an intense Evil Dead, and it takes place on Halloween. So yeah, that's a great like little assumption, or not a great description.
Right. Hey, Babb, it's in the word bit. I've got Roddy saying, you guys seen the new Jeepers Creepers? If not, don't. It's one of the most brilliant movies I've ever seen. So I've heard a lot of bad things about the CGI as well in there. Norin, have you seen this one?
No, I haven't yet. The only like recent ones I've seen were like the ones that are streaming. I haven't got a chance to get to the theaters yet to go check anything out.
Get you. And Elliot, I don't think it's available here in the UK yet, if I'm mistaken.
No, I didn't know there was a new Jeepers Creepers until hearing this comment. So, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't be that excited about seeing a new one. I like the first one, and I think the second one is all right, but I don't even know if I've seen the third one. I imagine it probably falls even further off the cliff the longer the franchise goes on. So, yeah, I'm quite happy Jeepers Creepers being left where it is.
Yeah, I'm not clamoring for another one, so I agree. We've got Exploitation saying, Saving Private Ryan is too cheesy. Full Metal Jacket, Apocalypse Now, Platoon, All Quiet. I'm sure is that All Quiet on the Western Front?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've never seen that one. Platoon is on my watch list though. Do you guys think Saving Private Ryan's too cheesy?
Not for me. No. I mean, I can kind of see some cheesy elements in it. It is quite sort of Spielberg at times, but I think the gritty action sort of keeps it from going too far into that realm.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I've never seen it. so I can't comment. But Jacob saying Hacksaw Ridge is my favorite war movie. Also love Dunkirk. What was now in 1917. Yeah, 1917 was pretty cool. How it was shot in like all in one take. That was pretty awesome. Cinematography was awesome. And he also says, yes, Casualty War is fantastic. Yeah, me and Jacob collabed on that one and not long ago, which you can find on my channel. I got Exploitation saying Three Kings is a solid war movie. And you guys seen that one?
Once a long time ago.
George Clooney, I think it's George Clooney and Ice Cube, I think. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
And I think, is the other one Mark Wahlberg, I think? I'm not 100% sure it is, though. I think it is.
Oh, okay. I can't imagine Ice Cube in a war movie.
It is weird, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine. We've got Joe's one saying, kick Jamie off this journey.
Right, Joe? I was looking for you to back me up. Here I was in the comments like, come on, Joe, like, help me out here, bro. I need some help. Something not war, something like zombie or like, streaming on Netflix. And then, come at me with that. God,
we've got plenty more to come. But back to war. We've got...
Come on, Jace, you as well.
I know, right? He says Full Metal Jacket was really good. For a modern war movie, I have to go with Hacksaw Ridge with American Sniper a close second. Non-winning, I would go with Braveheart. Yeah,
Braveheart. Wow,
really good choices. Yeah, I like Braveheart from what I remember of it. But it's been many years. We've also got Gideon saying, "Oh shit, hey." Oh, hi y'all. Say, Jason, hope you're doing good. And he says, I'm always mad I'm working during these. Yeah, I've always tried to get Jason on for one of these, but he's always working. So one day, dude, one day. But we have also got a legend coming next, and that is D Movie Man. He says, hey, all. He says, hope you're doing well. Been off the radar, but finally catching a break. So yeah, well, hey man, hope you're doing good. I hope you're enjoying your break, however long or short that is. And thank you for watching. I'm expecting some big questions in here. So
I was going to say good questions. Not that the other ones weren't. I didn't want to offend anyone, but yeah, Dee's the best. He's so good.
Well, here we go. Here's a question. He says, are there any older films you might have liked more had you seen them when they originally released versus now or in the present day? Dee's always coming with the big questions here.
Just swinging for the fences. Yeah.
Okay, definitely.
Okay. I've got one. I have got one, but Norin, do you want to go first?
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. So for me, it would probably be like, I know because it's famously known for being such a popular movie and people there are a lot of people that do love it, but Citizen Kane, I think it's just one of those movies, and it's always in the top 50 greatest movies of all time. It's so heralded as an amazing piece of cinema, but every time I watch it, I just feel like it's so dated. I can't connect with it. So I think maybe Citizen Kane, if I was alive back then and experienced it for the first time, on screen or like that, it probably would have been a bigger deal for me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. I haven't seen that movie. I've heard of it. And I've heard it's going to be like a classic as such.
Yeah, it is. It's like I said, so many people I've talked to, it's like one of their top favorite movies, or they remember it so much, but it's just, I never was able to connect with it.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Elliot, do you have one?
Yeah, I think for me it would have to be 2001 Space Odyssey, and I think similar to what Norin was saying, a lot of it was the hype. I went in expecting perfection. Every scene is going to be out of this world, and then to be honest, I was confused by a lot of what I was looking at. I didn't really know what I was looking at all, really, except for this whole idea of this computer gaining some sort of sentience for itself. It took me a long time to digest it, and it took a few video essays, but looking back on it, had I not had that hype and just went into it blind in an actual cinema big screen experience, that must have been breathtaking for people who did get to experience that in that fashion. That must have been just incredible. So yeah, for me it'd be 2001 The Space Odyssey.
Yeah, good pick. That was a one that I missed seeing at the cinema when they recently released it on 4K restoration. Because I hadn't seen it. But yeah, I think it's one of those, like, especially like when someone builds a hype for a movie and they're like, oh, you've got to check this out. And it's kind of like, meh. Like my example would be recently for my like 100 list I'm working through, The Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
It is, I can imagine like at the time when it was released, it was maybe like a bit revolutionary or something that was like different than what they've had. But I watched it recently, had big hype, bit like yours, Elliot, was hyped up. And I was like, it was all right, but I don't see the hype for it.
I actually agree. Lost Boys for me, I think it's fine. It's not amazing, but it's not awful either. I think it's a good time.
Yeah, that's it. Like I would agree. I think it's like a good movie, but it's nothing like to rush out and go see kind of thing for me.
Yeah.
Jamie, do you have one?
I can't think of any, no, but I really like the idea of going back and revisiting like older movies, because like with the Star Wars stuff, like I went in with the mindset of, oh, it's going to be old, it's going to be shit. And when I did watch it, like, yeah, I know Anthony will be like, I told you, you know, Perez and Richard and all that. But like, I genuinely enjoyed them, you know, like I watched them and I was like, wow, for its time, like this is actually really good. So as Elliot said, like it would have been nice, in my case anyway, to watch that sort of stuff, you know, on the big screen and like appreciate that. But I can't really think of any old movies. No.
Get you. Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, I've been really enjoying hearing your thoughts on Star Wars as well as a newcomer. Yeah. Really exciting.
Yeah, it's good. It's been fun.
Right. Well, thank you for the question, DM. So I'm sure you'll have more questions as we go along. We've got back to James Bond here. We've got Jacob Martin saying Daniel Craig and Sean Connery are my two Bonds. Timothy Dalton is the most underrated. Okay, cool.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to try catch up on some of them because we've got Jason saying you're getting into the 80s a little bit, Elliot, but that's okay. Thunderball was the fourth James Bond movie, so you're talking probably 65. Yeah, I just noted a lot of Bond movies. Is 25?
25 now, yeah, that's 25. Yeah.
Like, do you guys not find that repetitive? Like, do you not like be like, oh, again, like same story? The same with the horror stuff, you know, like you said there's how many Jasons or whatever. Does it ever get repetitive or like not boring, but repetitive? No.
A few years before I had a YouTube channel, I actually sat down to do a Bond marathon. And I tapped out after about maybe 13 movies because it was starting to get a bit, this is the same thing again now. Like, just a different location and a different villain 9 times out of 10. But I sort of found as well, like, this one's good, this one's not so good. This one's good. It was I did find some joy in every other movie I found as well, the longer it went on. But then also when they changed the actor, like it does breathe some real new life into it, and it does feel like a refresh and a reset as well. So you can get through it, but it is a hard ask.
Right.
Someone on my channel wants to do the Fast and the Furious movie, you know, the watch through of that. Mike, remember I was saying, and I was like, I think there's like 10 or something. Like, dude, cars. Like, fuck, I'm not interested. Jesus, guys. But anyway, we'll watch one and we'll see how we go, because I've never watched any of the Fast and the Furious either. But yeah, same thing. I just think, fuck, how repetitive is that? You know, like, and with that, I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know for sure, but isn't it like the same cast, like Vin Diesel every time? So you wouldn't really get that sort of freshness. But anyway, we'll see how we go.
Well, you'll get to learn about the meme about the family, at least.
I know where it comes from, but he always sends me the memes too. And I'm like, I know, I get it, but like, I don't get it. Like, I don't want to get it, to be fair.
and I noticed Elliot's impression there of Vin Diesel as well.
Set to go.
him and his family.
Yeah. Well, you shave the beard off. You're just going to do the hair now.
Yeah, it's just the top part.
We've got D Movie Man says an example for him. I'm assuming he says Crank would have been silly, ridiculous fun had I seen it in 2004 while I was in high school, but watching it recently made me want to temporarily sedate. No, I've never seen that one, but I'm not a fan of Jason Statham personally, so Yeah, that's fair. And Ryan says, no, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the worst of the year list. Yeah, except from the bus scene.
That hurts me. That hurts me, man.
You like the new one, Norin?
I thought it was pretty good. In terms of ranking, I think I put, because I did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ranking after the movie came out, I think I put it at number 4. It was number 4 in my ranking. I still like the remake the best. I think the remake did everything the original did for me, but better. But yeah, I put the newest one at number 4. So I actually thought it was really fun. I thought the characters were cool, and it gave me everything I wanted. They pretty much all died. So,
well, to be honest, I not long ago after I watched the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I watched the second one, and the second one was basically put me to sleep. So I think I'd actually rather watch the new one over the second one, personally.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I've seen the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it when I was really young. Is that the fourth one? I think it might be.
It's number 4.
Is it the fourth one? Yeah, I haven't seen the second one though, but I did hear that. I think isn't the second one a bit more played up for a laugh? I think it's a bit more of a comedy.
Yeah, it's Toby Hooper went all out because it was like a rebellion thing. Because people didn't take his first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He actually wanted it to be taken as a dark comedy. Like he filmed it and he said that was his intention, and nobody saw it that way. So when he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, he just went bonkers. Like it's played for laughs. Like there's crazy, silly stuff. Like Leatherface kind of going through puberty. It's wild. It's wild stuff.
Wow.
Sounds like a movie Jimmy wants to watch tonight.
Yeah. Comedy. Cool.
Add to watch list.
Yeah.
We got Jacob saying both are crazy, awesome slashers, but Freddy is a scary villain for me. Yeah.
Another vote, Freddy, huh?
Sure. And we've got Ryan saying Freddy over Myers.
Wow, Freddy.
3-3 suddenly.
I think we're tied now. Yeah.
Now, yeah.
We've got Exploitation saying Chucky, Jason, Freddy, then Michael. Okay, cool. And I wouldn't put Chucky top, but each to their own. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We've also got Josie saying Jamie not getting involved as much as she doesn't like horror or war movies. Question for Jamie: how's the new season of The Walking Dead so far? Yet to catch the new episodes.
Yeah, now we're talking. All right, guys, do we have an hour starting now? Oh no, you're gonna love it. So The Walking Dead at the moment, this is the final season, right? So they're doing sort of these like montages, these flashbacks from like Rick waking up in the hospital, and they're like really taking you back to the OG characters and like really significant moments that happened, all throughout the 12 seasons because 11 seasons, because this is the end. So, or the end. So it's really emotional in my opinion. I'm really liking it. I mean, the story's a little bit on the weak side with the villain and stuff, but I like it. And Joe, I know you will like it. So yeah, jump back on that bandwagon. Anyway, I could talk forever, but yeah, we'll cut it there because I know you guys don't watch The Walking Dead. So yeah, anyway. Good question though, Joe.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Norin, do you watch Walking Dead?
I used to actually be super hardcore into it, and then I was one of those people that when they did the Negan season and Jeffrey Dean Morgan came in for the first time, I freaking love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and it's like it's one of like I was like, oh, I can't wait. And then like after they started like taking out all my favorite characters, and I was just, I don't want to spoil it in case a lot of people haven't seen it, but yeah, certain characters passed away in that season that I couldn't really forgive it, and I just didn't really want to return. So maybe it just hurt my heart because they.
I mean, it definitely hurt mine too. Like it's one of the most loved characters, but he is like the baddest, most confident, the most likable bad guy. Like you can't not like him. And in these later seasons, like the more that he actually grows, like fuck, I find myself loving this villain. And I mean, I do have a trait for that, but Jesus Christ, he plays a really good baddie, and just his lines are so like witty. And I know that's mostly the writing, but just the way that he performs is just, he just takes on that whole role. His facial expressions, his body, his voice. Like in one of the lines in the latest episode, the kid is a spoiled little brat kid, like little rich, bratty little kid. And he's like, do you know who I am? You know, like I've got power and I've got money. And he goes, do you know who I am? And just the way he said that gave me chills. Like, fuck, kid, you don't know what this guy's done. You know, and just the way that he said that one sentence just blew me the fuck away. I could talk about him all day. Sorry, next question. Sorry, guys.
No, hey, that's fair. We've got Jason Collins saying I feel the same way with Norin on The Walking Dead. So
many people left. When Rick left, so many people left, and really they couldn't pick up. But
yeah,
I loved other characters. Like, I know Rick is obviously the main character, but he's not my favorite character, and that's an unpopular opinion, sure, but he's not. So I kept going for Carol, and I'm telling you now, if she dies, that's me done. I'm literally done. I promise you, I will be done. You can't come back from that, you know? Like, as you said, Negan killing off who he killed off, you can't come back from that. I can't come back if they kill Carol. I really can't. Like, no, I'm done. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the OG characters, so yeah, I can imagine.
And she's somebody who went through, like, at the start of an apocalypse, she was so not sure of herself. She was, like, domestically abused. She was really weak and not confident. And now, like, she's gone to saving a whole group of people. And the things that she has done morally would fuck with your head. And yet she's so strong in every sense, physical, emotional, I believe. And yeah, she just does hard things for the greater good. Anyway.
Yeah, very passionate about Carol.
very, very passionate about my Walking Dead. Sorry, guys.
Hey, no, it's cool. It's cool. I have got a question coming up that's not horror or anything related, but one thing we have got is about horror very quickly, and that is Jason saying, what's interesting about Freddy is that he talks, while most serial killers seem to be quiet. Yeah, definitely something different. I didn't really notice that, actually.
Yeah, he's got quite a few quotes and catchphrases.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the most personality. It's like Freddy, Chucky, and Leprechaun are probably like the most like quippy kind of one-liner type killer characters.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Freddy seems to take a joy in it. Like, he'll make sick, twisted jokes, and like he'll pretend to be people that he's already killed earlier in the movie just to mess with you. Like, he takes he's a real arsehole about it.
Yeah, I still need to see those movies. I'm dying to, because especially like there's a horror convention coming on in a couple of weeks. Me and my partner's going to, and they got loads of people from like the third and fourth movie and stuff going. And Heather Langenkamp's going as well, I think, from the first movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so I need to see those movies.
While we're on the topic of thing though, can I just ask Norin, what about Wolf Creek? Is that something that do you think that I should watch? Because we have a con coming up, and same thing. I've got the opportunity to speak with is it John Jarrett? I think that's the guy's name. Anyway, he's an Aussie guy. Have you ever watched that one?
Yes, I've seen Wolf Creek. I think they actually have a sequel to it. But the first one, it's pretty intense. It's like there's a lot of harm to the female like sex, and it's very intense kind of in that way. So
okay,
I don't
probably
know.
Not.
I would probably stay away from that one in terms of actually watching it, because it does get pretty intense.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Wolf Creek. I've got to agree with Norin. Yeah.
Okay.
And Joe's saying Wolf Creek's awesome as well. And he says, yeah, they have a sequel, but not as good, but not bad. Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough. We've got D Movie Man. He says, if you could experience a Universal / Disney-esque theme park with areas centered around some of your favorite movies, what would that look like? Seeing a Blade Runner world would be pretty awesome.
Oof.
Cool. How long have we got?
Well, dude, we've got all night. So, Elliot, do you want to go first if you've got an idea?
I mean, the problem that I've got immediately is some of my favorite films make this theme park pretty... Don't go there. You'll be dead within minutes, because the first film that came to mind was Alien. So we'd have a big xenomorph running around killing everybody. So off to a good start. But I'd have to chuck Star Wars in there. I love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I'm basically a great big nerd. So anything like that would definitely be in there.
Get you. Well, I have got to say, recently we've gone to Florida. I did go to Hollywood Studios, and the way that they've done like Star Wars, like Galaxy's Edge, is incredible.
I really want to go.
Yeah. So when you mentioned Star Wars, I was like, that's perfect place for you, dude.
Yeah, just that's already existing. Yeah, I'll just move in.
Yeah, so I think it'd be interesting. Like an alien one would be awesome.
Especially if they like really play up the horror themes to it as well.
You know, I come to think of it, I don't think they actually have like any kind of like horror theme parks.
Not off the top of my head that I'm aware of, no.
Here in Australia, we have obviously our movie world and things like that, but they do, they're called Fright Nights. And because of COVID, they've been off for 2 years, but they are brutal. I mean, the rides are still there. So you've still got the, you know, like roller coasters or the, you know, experiences that are normally there, but they pay actors to properly dress up. And I mean, dress up. Like these guys are fucking terrifying. And at the moment, I think it's maybe the Evil Dead or something like that. And they do these like mazes and these walkthrough experiences, and they are scary. Like they are proper, and it's called Fright Nights, and it's totally, everything is based around horror. And they do it for the whole month of October. Like every weekend is themed around that. And that's pretty cool. You guys would like that. Yeah, the mazes are really cool to walk through and see some of the things. And even like the food trucks and things, you know, they're like decorated, and they're called like something to do with like meat, like eating people, which probably isn't so funny now that the Dharma thing's out. But yeah, like just everything is themed around horror, and yeah, it's cool. It's really nice. Or not nice, but like it's a different change. It's scary as shit, but it's, yeah, different from the whole, you know, like, not that we're Disney characters, but you know, like the Tweety Bird and the Looney Tunes sort of thing. It, yeah, really ramps up to like 18 plus at night. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, and they open at night. That's the whole scary part of it. So they open from 5 o'clock till like 10 o'clock at night. So it's all in the dark. The rides are in the dark. You know, you've got Jason and Freddy and all these motherfuckers coming out at you. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, see, like I think like that's like one of the most things you'll tend to see with horror related, Jamie. You put perfectly like scare mazes or like these horror experiences kind of thing. But it only ever seems to be like at Halloween time, like mainly. Yeah, I guess for us in the UK. I'm not sure about America, Norin. Is that the same for you guys?
Yeah, it's usually just around this time. I think there's a town actually here in the United States called Salem. And I know they're kind of themed out all the time, like for Halloween, and they do like special parades, like all kinds and stuff like that. But they have these traveling haunted houses that take place a lot in like Texas and Louisiana and all that stuff. And you have to like sign the waiver because they actually like physically touch you and scare you and all these things. So I've heard of those, but I've never actually been to any of them.
Get you.
I went through one of those mazes and I was punched unintentionally because they're not supposed to touch you. But there was a line of people there, and I was really young. I was like 18 or something. There was a line of people, and bless them, you know, they were tourists. They couldn't speak very well English. I don't think that they really understood very good English. And you're supposed to line up in, let's say, 10 and put your hands on the next person in front of you so that you're walking in a line through this maze. And they split. So the guy obviously thought the next people were coming out to like jump. You know, he can jump out and scare people, and he jumped out and got me. And yeah, I cried. And at the end there, like the like first aid people came in. I was fine. Like I was literally just embarrassed that like, fuck, this dude just punched me. But yeah, I was just like crying out of embarrassment really. And yeah, they, you know, I had to fill out this incident report and stuff like that. So yeah, it's so funny that, you know, these people are actually allowed to touch you, because movie world were going crazy that, you know, I was touched. Like that's not allowed to happen there, but it did. So, yeah,
wow.
it's interesting.
That's an experience.
It was definitely a horror experience. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's an interesting question. I think for me, it's probably going to be an obvious answer, but I would love to see like a Back to the Future world. Like, imagine if they had a theme park where you got to experience all 3 movies. So you start at like 1885, for example, in the 3rd movie. Then you go like traveling through time to 55, then to 85, then 2015 at the end. And you can maybe pause like with that Jaws 19 coming down and biting you. Like, I think something like that would be awesome. Or like, have you guys seen the anime movie Your Name?
No, I'm aware of it, but I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it, no.
Well, my favorite anime movie ever. I'd recommend it to anyone who's watching and to you guys. But I would like even like a big anime world, or like different animes. That could be cool.
That
That
sounds
would be
awesome.
so popular.
Because I know in London they've opened up like an actual anime restaurant, which I'm dying to go to. And I just don't think there's enough like novelty stuff like that, being honest. But like a Blade Runner world would be awesome, because I know in Disney what I saw recently was like an Avatar world, and that was incredible. So a Blade Runner one would be awesome. Like, imagine the futuristic buildings and stuff as you're walking by. That would be cool. So yeah, thanks for the question, D. Do you guys have anything else to add to this one? What you'd maybe like to see?
You guys probably have it over in the States, but like I want to see more. As I said, we have the Warner Brothers movie world, which is really everything Warner Brothers. So like the whole Batman, the Looney Tunes, things like that. But I would like to see like a Marvel version of that. You know, the Avengers and things like that. That I saw a little bit of when like Kamala went to a con in the Miss Marvels series. So yeah, it was cool to see all. I mean, I think that was just purely a con, but having like rides themed around, you know, those characters, or I don't know, maybe even just a solo Spider-Man one. I don't know, just more superheroes, because they're sort of left out. Like all our theme parks are based around kid-related stuff, as I said, like Looney Tunes and things, and then our dream world is based around Nickelodeon. And like DreamWorks, like Madagascar, and SeaWorld is like Dora the Explorer. It's all like kid related, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'd like to see some like cool superhero stuff, because obviously I'm a big fan of that. So that would be cool.
I've got to agree with you. I think in France they've got Avengers Campus, if I'm not mistaken. On American, maybe LA, they've got like Avengers Campus. It's somewhere Disney anyway. That looks awesome, because they've got like a Spider-Man that like webs over from one building to like the other and stuff. So yeah,
that sort of stuff. We don't have any of that here, so that would be cool.
Yeah, I agree. We've got Jason here asking Jamie, do you have a favorite Star Wars so far?
Yes, my Star Wars experience with oh my god, why did my name just go blank? He was just in our chat, for fuck's sake.
Jacob?
Jacob. I was going to call him Justin. Why is Justin on my mind? And it was Return of the Jedi. And yeah, I really liked that movie. I thought it was, I know a lot of people say the second one. What was the second one that I watched?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire. Everyone loves Empire, but I really thought Return of the Jedi was just a really good conclusion. Like, I just really loved the way everything ended. And I know a lot of people, Jacob said that they were a little bit controversial about the Ewoks, and I thought they were like cool as fuck. Like the cutest shit.
Yeah.
And, like, they did more damage than the bloody stormtroopers half the time. So yeah, I was a big fan of that one.
Did you know that Warwick Davis is an Ewok? Nah. Yeah, do you know who he is?
No. I'm going to Google it.
He played the Leprechaun too.
Say again? What's his name?
Warwick Davis.
What is he in that I would know?
Willow? Have you seen Willow?
No.
Oh, okay. That's like kind of a fantasy story.
Harry Potter. Yeah, there we go.
I think he's one of the goblins in Harry Potter, I think. At the bank.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he works at Gringotts Bank.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Leprechaun 2.
Leprechaun.
How many leprechauns are there, for fuck's sake?
There's 8.
No way. 8.
There's 8. Yeah.
Holy shit. I was just taking the piss. Jesus. Okay. I need to get
There's
out.
a lot of them. Jacob says there's Avengers Campus now in Disneyland. That's cool. Jason says I'd love to walk through a recreation of Hill Valley. That would be awesome. And Jacob says Warwick Davis is also Professor Flitwick in Harry Potter.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And he also says, do you have a big amusement park in England or Australia? Elliot, would you say
Elliot,
I was
you do.
hours?
I mean, I might not
Alex?
be the one. I might not be the one to answer this because I don't really go to amusement parks really. So I don't know if like Thorpe Park is deemed a big theme park. It might be really small scale compared to like what goes on in America. And to be honest, I think it is compared to what goes on in America. So, but yeah, we have Chessington. There's Lego World. There's even Peppa Pig World, which is more popular than you think, actually. A lot of people go to Peppa Pig World. So we've definitely got a handful, but typical British fashion, it's all quite reserved and safe and not much really, but compared to other places. So, but I mean, Mike might have better answers. Actually, you travel much more than I do. So
yeah. I don't know. I haven't really experienced like many amusement parks, like in the UK. I think the one I would say maybe the biggest, maybe Alton Towers.
Yeah,
but I might be wrong. I haven't been to Thorpe or anything like that. You have, right?
I have once when I was 14, I think it was. So again, I wasn't really paying attention to the dimensions and how big it was, but it was pretty big. So
yeah. Jason says, "Go America," which is so true. But yeah, we've got some other comments here. Let's have a look. We've got Ryan saying the new Mario trailer is dropping in the next hour. No idea what to expect.
Oof.
Yeah, did you guys see the poster the other day?
No,
I saw a very quick image of it. Yeah.
Well, the poster that they released the other day literally looked as if it was like the games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm intrigued. It's got a good voice cast.
Yeah.
It's Jack Black as Bowser, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and Chris Pratt's in there too.
Oh, that's Chris Pratt as Mario. Yeah. I think it could be quite fun.
Yeah, and I think I heard that like the creator of Nintendo's like involved in it as well. So like of Mario, sorry. So I can't imagine it being rubbish, especially if they spend that much money with Nintendo on it, and it's animation, not live action as well. So they're not going to want a repeat of the old Mario from back in the day. So we'll have to see. We've got Jacob saying hot take, but I think Halloween should have ended at 2018. I'm not a fan of studios milking horror franchises with unnecessary sequels. Well, Norin, you being a big horror guy, what do you think about this?
Ooh, I actually did really love Halloween 2018, but I don't mind if they keep going. I really don't, because like especially Friday the 13th and like some of them, it kind of seems like they do get a little redundant to an extent, but it's like comfort films for me. So when I watch them, I could watch them just hanging out, making food, or I could really soak it in, or I could, be editing a video and watching it. And like me, it just depends. I would like more treatment and nice stuff of the characters and the creators taking more care of their actual properties. I can understand that, but I don't mind them keeping going and stuff,
Yeah, I get you. That's fair. And especially as you say, with you loving horror as well, like obviously the more the better, really. I guess. Elliot, how about you?
I completely agree with everything Norin said. As long as they've got a good story to tell and they're passionate about the project, why not make another one? There's been plenty where I've been really pleasantly surprised, where I've thought, oh, I don't know about that one being a movie. And then you see the trailer and you're like, oh, wow, this looks really good. I mean, a recent example being The Last of Us. I personally, before seeing that trailer, I thought, why does this need to be a TV show? I'll just replay the game and experience it where I'm actually involved in it. And then I saw that trailer and I was like, shut up, Elliot. You don't know what you're talking about. This looks incredible. So yeah, I completely agree with what Norin said. Yeah.
Yeah, I think The Last of Us is a very good point as well. I agree with you, like, because they haven't got a good reputation of video games to like movies or TV adaptations. And Jamie, how about yourself? What was your thoughts on this?
I just said it before. Like, I probably wouldn't. Oh, I don't want to say wouldn't keep going. Like, obviously, keep making scary movies, but as I was saying before, like, doesn't it get repetitive? But obviously, for you guys who love it, like, it doesn't. But even for someone like me, like, I absolutely love, like, love and romance. But like, some of those franchises as well. Like that After was great, and now they've made like After 2 and After 3. I mean, they haven't made it. There was like a book series about it, so the original content was already there, but like they just keep milking these movies. And now I think they've made like, because there was 4 books, and I think they've made it in, like they've split that 4th one into like 2 movies. And I just keep thinking, why? Like 2 was terrible, 3 was like just as worse. I don't know. It's not just horror, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like there's so many franchises that just keep trying to suck the money out, and it's like, you can tell, because it's just crap. Sorry, but it is. But you guys obviously, think differently. You would sit and, watch scary movie, like Freddy number 21, or whatever, and that'd be totally fine with that. But yeah, I don't know. I've got a cutoff limit. I'm like, all right, come on now.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like the franchise and what it is, and like what story they've got there ready to tell. Like I would say for me, in terms of like this hot take one, I would say maybe the Saw franchise. I think it's gone a bit too far.
Yeah.
Unless maybe like revamp the whole thing and like start fresh, because it's like coming up to, have they got 9 movies now and they're making a 10th one? Is that right?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and I think like for me, like I liked the first couple, and then after that I was just like wasn't a fan of the rest. But like the Halloween ones, yeah, I'm happy to see more Halloween movies personally. As long as they kill off like Jamie Lee Curtis, because she can't keep coming back for every single movie every couple of years. She's getting old, she can't keep going. Although I love Jamie Lee, don't get me wrong, but she can't keep going with that. Joe says a storyline character of a 70-year-old and a 60-year-old killing brother still jumping around like the Hardy Boys. Still love it and can't wait for it. It's very true. It's very
For real,
true.
it baffles me because I'm 33, and like there's things that I'll do and I'm like it hurts. I'll go to sleep and wake up with a sleep injury. So it baffles me that they're like 60 and 70 and they can do all that.
Right.
And do it well.
Right, yeah. I mean, Michael Myers is like unstoppable, especially with like Halloween Kills, how that was coming up to like right at the end. I was like, all that, and he's still not dead. How is Jamie Lee going to kill him after all this time? Surely. But we'll have to wait and see. Jason says that scene in the original Carrie with Sissy Spacek where she's covered in blood is so good. You have to see it. Yeah, I've seen images and stuff, and I've seen like that scene. But yeah, it's definitely a movie I want to watch. And Elliot needs to see it as well. And Jamie. So we've also got in Total Stars, we've got Dave saying, I'm not too late, am I? What's up, guys? So hey Dave, hope you're doing good. Thanks for joining. Jason says, I think Gone with the Wind would have been exciting at the time, but now I find it boring. Yeah, definitely like an older movie. I think some of them older movies sometimes do better like when they first came out compared to now. But yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jason. And we've also got Ryan saying, are there any other older movie? Sorry, is there any other older film that is rather popular that you feel doesn't hold up? For me, it's The Lost Boys. Okay.
It's a tough one. Off the top of my head, I haven't got anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think as well. I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything at the moment. No.
I don't know. Jamie, have you got one?
Nah.
Popular, but I didn't like it. Especially as an older film. There's loads of newer films that are popular that I didn't like, but older films. That's where it gets tough.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, we'll come back to that question because I personally haven't got one. Unless Norin, have you got one?
We're talking about a movie that doesn't age well, right? Is that the question?
Yeah, so it says, is there any older film that is rather popular that you feel doesn't hold up?
Well, I was like, this is probably my hottest take in terms of opinions, but it's probably The Exorcists, because it's heralded as such an amazing film and so many people love that movie. But I actually think Exorcist 3 is better than The Exorcist. So I was never really high on that movie, and like I'll watch it and enjoy aspects of it, and I like the stories behind the making of it. But yeah, The Exorcist is probably the most popular film that I think doesn't hold up, or I don't gravitate towards that much.
Yeah, I get you. I've never seen it. The Exorcist sequels. I didn't think.
Yeah, there's 2, 3, 4. I think there's 6 or 5. There's like 6 or 5, I think.
I know they're remaking it though, right?
Yes, they are. They are remaking it currently. Yes, I think Blumhouse has the rights to that.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that. I'd be intrigued to see like how that holds up because I know the original like people walking out of the cinema like throwing up and stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right. I mean, you got to remember that back when it came out though, you know. So definitely different now. We've got Jason asking, how many movies from AFI's top 100 movies do you think you've seen?
I don't even know what AFI is.
Yeah, what's AFI? American Film Institute, is it? Or
I think
it
is.
so,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what's on the list. Do you guys know what's on the list? Or Jamie, do you know what's on the list?
I didn't even know that was a list. So no. And me and you, Mike, would probably be very low in that list.
Right.
I can
Unless
imagine
it's
some
lovely.
of them that would be on there. Things I reckon The Godfather would be on there.
I'm pretty sure Citizen Kane's on
would
there.
probably be on there. Yeah.
Citizen Kane's number 1. Yeah, I've got that on my hand. Yeah.
told you. Every time.
I mean, I'll name a couple out. I'm not going to name the full 100. But you've got like Citizen Kane. You've got The Godfather. So Elliot, you were right. Gone with the Wind. Wizard of Oz. Sound of Music. Schindler's List is on there. It's a Wonderful Life. Star Wars is on there.
What you want? Woo!
I've seen all of them so far.
Far out, Norin.
2001 Space Odyssey. So there's another one. Yep. There's loads. There's quite a lot. But by looking through the list, I think you guys would have seen, like Elliot and Norin, I think you guys would have seen a lot more than I have personally.
Out of the ones you mentioned, I'd seen 6 of them. So I think I've probably seen, if that's the maths, I've seen 60% of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I should have took from that list in my suggestions, to be honest.
Right. You and I need to get out more, Mike. Bloody hell. We need to get on the couch.
It is, right? Really do. I've got Jacob saying, the Last Picture Show is an old movie for me, where I might have liked it when it was made in 1971, but watching it recently for the first time bored the crap out of me. I've never heard of The Last Picture Show. You guys?
No.
I haven't seen that one, no.
No.
I heard of it, but not seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all of us, at least, we haven't seen a movie. Hey, so we're getting there. Jacob says, what's a movie that's poorly received by a majority of people that you highly enjoyed? And he says, one that comes to mind for me is Sahara starring Matthew McConaughey.
I don't know. This one's tough because some people love it, but then more critical people hate it. And that would be the original Hocus Pocus. I've recently watched the sequel, and oh boy, that was hard. But the original one, again, I'm nostalgic about it. So it's I quite like it. It's the same thing about the set design being real, and it's quite edgy for kids. I don't know if I'd show it to a kid today. It's a bit out there about drinking blood and killing children and stuff. It's like a bit heavy-handed. But yeah, it's not a great movie. I know it's not great, and a lot of people like me who grew up with it do love it. But if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's only got like a 30% on the critic meter. I don't think it's very highly rated by critics. But I personally, I'll defend it.
Get you. I've never seen any of those movies. I've never seen that one or the news, because the new one just got released last week.
Yeah.
Hard work was what it was.
I've heard a lot of mixed things about the sequel, though. I've heard somebody was like, oh, it's enjoyable. Somebody was like, oh, it's mediocre. and then like Elliot, I think was just like a 1 or 2 out of 10, something like that.
Straight to the point.
Norin, do you have one?
In terms of movie, I think, well, yeah, because it really wasn't talked about a lot, but Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think that movie is amazing. I really do. And like when I've talked to people, like either a lot of people haven't seen it or they don't like it. And I think it's like one of the best like kind of video game style movies out there. Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like what's not to love about that movie?
Yeah.
It's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I watched that recently as well. I really enjoyed that movie. Yeah. I really like Michael Cera. You don't see him a lot, but
No, not anymore.
nah.
That movie always makes me think of my old flatmate. That was his favorite movie, and every time it was movie suggestion night, he would say Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So that just immediately took me back to those times.
That's great.
That's awesome. Jamie, do you have one?
Not a movie, but there was a TV series, Jupiter's. Let me get this right, because there's Jupiter's Legacy, which has got Mila Kunis in it, and that's a movie, and it's not that one. But I think it's Jupiter. No, it is Jupiter's Legacy, not Jupiter's Ascending, I think. Anyway, one of the two. I can't remember the name, but it was a really good series. And it only lasted 1 season, and yet it had like a really good cast in it. But yeah, obviously nobody liked it. And the people that did, they were like, oh, it's a knockoff of like superheroes. And to be fair, it probably was, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. But yeah, no one else did apparently. And it got canned after 1 season. So won't get any more of that. But yeah, movie wise, like I can't really think. I'm not really a movie girl, as you all know, but yeah, I'll add that one.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Yeah, it got canned after 1 season. You're right. Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff. Ryan saying Sucker Punch for
That's
him.
a good movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, but I know Alex from I.M O Reviews like absolutely slammed that movie. So
Oh no, really?
yeah.
It's pretty good. I liked it. It's early Zack Snyder, and like that's probably the worst thing. It's like really early Zack Snyder, but you can see so much style in the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, he's a big fanboy of him, but yeah, he wasn't a fan.
Nah, that movie. Jacob saying Fast and Furious movies went from street racing to heist movies to live action cartoon parodies.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, Jacob, that's for sure.
Yeah, it goes from like actual good movies to shit. Jason saying, yeah, James Bond gets repetitive. Fast and Furious, real repetitive after 5. Yeah, it goes more action heist. Yeah. Jacob says, I've only seen the first 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The third one, which features a young Viggo Mortensen. Hot take is actually my favorite of the 3. Oh, okay, Norin, where do you rank that one in your list?
Yeah.
Oh, the third one? I think I actually had that at like number 6. It's kind of low for me just because it's a little bit forgettable. I like the fact that it takes place mostly at night. I love that factor in it, but it's kind of forgettable for me in terms of like the franchise.
Get you. Elliot, have you seen that one?
No, but I'm intrigued that there was a young Viggo Mortensen in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That's news to me. I need to check that out for sure.
He plays one of Leatherface's relatives.
Really?
Now I'm even more intrigued.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you were saying before about Matthew McConaughey in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Weird, I know.
Right. Wow. Okay. We've got Playtendo saying even Mike, Jamie, Elliot, and Norin say, hey, Pete, hope you're doing good. I've got Cinematic saying, hey, guys. So, hey, Cinematic, hope you're doing good. Thank you for tuning in. Let's have a look. Cinematic says, anyone watching Amsterdam today? Well, we don't have it in the UK right now. We get it tomorrow, which I think Elliot said he was going to see.
Hopefully going to try and get to it over the weekend. No promises. Not sure what time, but it is on the to-do list.
Yeah, same here, bud. But I've heard like bad things about it already.
So have I. I've heard one review from a little plug, a channel called Pulp Kitchen, who I really enjoy, and they went to the premiere of it and sadly just didn't connect with the film. But I'll make my own judgment. I'll still check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I have a feeling, Elliot, it could be another 1 out of 10 for you, though.
Oh God, please no.
Yeah.
I know, right? We've got Jason saying, I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 might be my favorite video game movie so far.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I've got to agree with that. What about you guys?
I mean, it's solid. It's definitely compared to a lot of other video game movies.
Yeah, definitely one of the better. I don't know. Like at first, when I thought Sonic in the like a movie, I thought nah, but yeah, like it did turn out to be my favorite so far. Yeah, got to agree. Maybe one for Elliot and Norin here and saying, what's the longest horror franchise?
Oh, if you're gonna count it now, it would probably be Amityville, but that's because it's a public domain property. So they have like, I think close to 40. There's like 42 or like 38 like Amityville movies, Amityville Horror, Amityville Possession, Amityville Murders, Amityville, anything you could think of, they have them.
Speaking of Amityville, I know there was 2 recently that I was quite intrigued by. There was one of them where Amityville in Space. I don't know what the actual title was. and then the one came out last month. Amityville Karen.
What? And you guys are telling me that these are fresh ideas. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Look, because I'm intrigued because I've always wanted to watch that Amityville Karen one when it was announced.
That's
Let me see what rating it's got. Hold on.
Or read the plot at least. Like fucking hell, what is that?
Do you guys want to know the plot of Amityville Karen?
Yes,
I
definitely.
It's currently got a 4.2 out of 10 on IMDb. And the plot, and it's an hour and 44 minutes. And it says the plot is every neighborhood has a Karen, and Amityville is no exception. When stealing a cursed bottle of wine from a struggling local brewery, Karen soon finds that the price to pay is far more dangerous.
Far out. That's so dumb. So
Sounds like in a
watch list.
Oh God.
I'm definitely going to watch Amityville Karen after this. We've got Lego and News saying the Mario trailer is out and it's actually good. Jack Black as Bowser is really good and the animation is so damn good, but Chris Pratt is not that great as Mario. What the hell were they thinking? Okay, well, we can't comment because we're all in the stream right now. So, I'm intrigued. Jacob saying, I just watched the trailer, has stunning visuals, looks like the game, but I'm not feeling Chris Pratt should have gone with the original voice actor. Yeah, I can't imagine like a voice actor would have been. It's just because it's like a Hollywood production, so they're gonna get a big name, like Tom Holland with Uncharted and stuff like that, and Mark Wahlberg, just because it's like, you know. It just says, I do think Charlie Day's Luigi is good, telling by what we've seen, but Jack Black is just killing it as Bowser. I was getting how he would sound, but he sounds so good. All right, well, we'll gather our thoughts after the stream because we can't watch them right now. But Joseph one says, what video game would you like to see turned into a film? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go to Jamie. He loves video games. So, Jamie, which game would you like to see in a movie?
My favorite one's a little bit because like there's lots of zombie movies out and about, but I really love 7 Days to Die. That's a cool one. And it really focuses on like survival, not so much like, yeah, there's zombies in it and stuff, but like you also have to eat, you also have to build a house. Like there's so much more to surviving in apocalypse than purely just zombies. So that one would be cool. And then I really love the game Subnautica. Have you ever played that? Anyone?
No, heard of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think I played that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an underwater, like alien sort of species. Yeah, and that's a cool one too. You are like stranded after this plane crash, and you have to. Same thing with the whole survivalist. You know, you've got to cook these certain species of fish, and you have to boil the water and things like that because obviously you're in, you know, water that's contaminated and there's radiation and things like that. And yeah, super spooky underwater creatures in it, and yeah, it's cool. It would be really cool to see on screen.
Yeah. Oh, awesome! I've heard of it. I've never played it though. So,
it's hard. Yeah. It's good.
Cool one. And Norin, you were kind of bursting out there. Which do you like to see?
Well, my favorite game has never been made into a film adaptation yet, but Metal Gear Solid was my favorite game and like still is today. Like, so it's like spy espionage type stuff and nuclear war. So it's got a lot to do with all that kind of aspects. And I would be excited to see one of those.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a really cool one. I remember playing the original games back on the PS1, I believe it was. I love those games though. So I think that would be cool. Well, question for Elliot on this one. Would you like to see Bioshock as a movie?
You know I would. When I was at uni studying film production, I even made Bioshock my fictional film pitch, which was part of the course. And not to brag, but I got full marks. So just to say, I got a little bit wrapped up in it. I was designing the soundtrack for this. This film doesn't even exist, and I was making a soundtrack for it. So I got a little bit carried away. So it has to be Bioshock for me. Yeah, 100%.
And if you are interested, if you click on the link below Ellie's channel, he recently did a video essay on Bioshock. So definitely check that out. Yeah, some really good picks. I think for me, have any of you guys played a game called Heavy Rain?
Yes, actually, very briefly, I think I played it. Yeah, it might have been the demo I played, actually.
Yeah, I would highly recommend checking it out if you can. I think they did a remaster on PS4 and PS4, I think it was. One of my favorite games, not my favorite, but one of them. And it's just such a good like mystery story, which goes in like so many different angles, and you predict how the story goes and that kind of stuff. So I would like to see that adapted. But I think the latest one's Mario, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we've also got Jason saying here. So you've seen Matilda, but not Citizen Kane, Mike.
Matilda's good, Jace.
And Matilda's
the original
awesome.
one, anyway.
Matilda's awesome. The musical, not so much. It says definitely check out the movies on AFI if you want to know what some must-see classics are. Okay, cool. I'll have to have a look. Ryan says got my ticket for Amsterdam in the next hour. All right, cool, man. Well, enjoy. I can't wait to see your review for that one.
It's got our girl Taylor Swift in it, so I'm hoping that she just holds up everything for me, and it's just good because of her, like a little shrine. My girl, my love.
I'll let you know after I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Or Elliot if he beats me to it. Jacob says Vigo is the best part of Texas Chainsaw 3. Okay,
I'll be sure to find out.
Right. I in that one. He says Tomb Raider and Uncharted I enjoyed more than the two Sonic movies combined.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider's a great game.
Yeah, Norin, I don't think you agree with that, right?
I can't. Yeah, no. I'm not actually a big fan of Angelina Jolie, and I never even saw the third Tomb Raider movie they did with the newer actress. I didn't get a chance to see that one.
You know what it is? That new one with Alicia Vikander, based on like the more modern Tomb Raider games, was actually all right. It was very generic, I would say, but at least it looked like the PlayStation game and like the Xbox game.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got Cinematic saying Amityville Rises, Amityville Forever, Kills, Returns, Endgame, Awakes.
How many times did you have to copy and paste the word like Amityville? Hey, like frig. No.
A lot.
42, apparently. Was that what it was?
Right.
42 or something?
I want to know all these Amityville titles, you know. I'm really interested. Jacob says, I'm not an avid gamer, but as a Disney fan, I'm surprised that Disney hasn't attempted to turn Kingdom Hearts into a feature film.
That's true.
That could be fun, actually. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I think that would be an awesome movie, especially with how it interacts with all Disney characters as it is anyway. Yeah, I think that would be a good medley. We've also got Jason said, I think Red Dead Redemption would make for a good movie.
True.
Yeah,
it's been a while since we've had a good Western.
Right, yeah, and I was thinking with Red Dead, they could also do a spin-off where it's zombie movie as well.
Yes, yeah.
So that could be interesting. And James says Taylor Swift was the only good part of Cats.
You're so kind, Jacob. There's no good part of Cats. You're being way too kind. But yeah, she's perfect.
I've never seen that movie, but I do know recently they've announced they're making a 4K of Cats.
Wow. Wow.
I've just heard it's not there for you all.
Oh, it's terrible.
I don't know. Norin, have you seen Cats?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That's a good horror film for you.
Sounds like it. Elliot?
Oh, I saw it all right. Yeah, and I'll be honest. When it came out, I was just baffled by it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I just sort of sat there like, what the hell is this? Like, what are we doing? This is madness. And I still feel the same way about it. I almost look back at Cats and think that was a traumatic event.
It's just like the animation for me when I saw the trailer. I was like, what the fuck is this? and that was enough to put me off, so I didn't go see it. I'm glad I didn't, by the sounds of everyone who I've talked to. I don't think I've actually heard one good review for that movie. So, yeah, I'm okay. I don't agree with this comment, though. Cinematic says, happy that we get a Last of Us series, but I would have loved a movie instead. I can't agree, because with me playing the games, and I'm sure you guys have played the games or at least know of it, it's like the games are a massive story, and I don't think fitting that into a 2-hour movie would do that justice. I don't think you'd get that emotion either. I don't know, what do you guys think of this?
I totally agree. And if I think you give yourself the space and the room to really flesh out these characters and the relationships and really leave an impact and make it last. And also, if you want to deviate from the games, again, give yourself more room to do so. So I think a series is a good idea, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, you agree, Norin?
Yeah, I totally agree too.
Yeah. Awesome. And I know Jimmy Lee loves series, so
I was just about to say, I'm so biased with that, because I want everything to be a series and drawn out, and like really, as Elliot said, like get to know the characters and really take that time rather than just 2 hours to cram it all in.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those where, like, if it was made into a 2-hour movie, it would probably bomb, because people would be like, there's not enough character development, it wasn't emotional enough, there's not enough world building. Whereas that series, so far what we're seeing in trailers, it looks incredible. And they've got like, do any of you guys know how many episodes it's going to be?
No, I'm not sure actually.
No, I would say probably between 6 and 10. I would have thought somewhere in that region. I would have thought anyway. I might be wrong, but yeah, it just gives it that time to build up. Yeah, so I can't agree, Cinematic. I don't think any of us agree on this one. But great hearing your thoughts anyway, dude. Jacob was saying I was referring to the new Tomb Raider with the Kanda, not the Jolie ones. Okay, cool, man. Roddy says that Mario trailer blew me away. Great, I'm so glad everyone's loving it. We can't take it out. And he says, Mike, do choose your F-bombs wisely. I do, my friend. I do. Jacob says, Cats is my ultimate so bad it's good movie. Really?
Oh, my God.
There you go. You've got a positive review, Mike. Your first one.
It's still not enough to get me to watch that movie. Maybe as like a subscriber special, as like torture for myself. Maybe then, like what?
Not the one chip challenge. Yeah,
I was going to say one chip and then watch Cats at the same time. We'll see. That's actually an idea. Actually, I like that idea. Cinematic says a great writer can flesh out the characters in the movie. Well, yeah, definitely for sure. We've seen a lot of movies where the character development's there, but I think The Last of Us, because it's a video game and it's a big video game over 2 games as well, by the way, you can't do that into one movie for me, but might be wrong. Joseph one says, think of your favorite movie and your most hated actor. Would it still be your favorite movie with the actor as the lead role? No, because for me, it would be Melissa McCarthy in Back to the Future. Fuck that.
I kind of want to see that.
No. Just don't, Elliot. Please don't.
No.
What about you guys? That would be my movie. What about you guys?
Oh, blimey. That is a rough question. So I would have, what would mine be? So, my least favorite actor. I mean, there's a few. So I would end up with Jared Leto in Whiplash.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I don't think it would be my favorite anymore after that. No. And which one is he playing? Is he doing the J.K. Simmons role? Because then it really doesn't work.
Nah. It would have to be the J.K. Simmons role, surely.
Bald head and everything.
Wow, that would be awful. Okay, Norin, how about you?
One of my favorite movies, Blade Runner 2049, and my least favorite actor is Kevin Hart. So that's probably not going to be a great combo at all, because it's like I don't think he's ever touched a sci-fi film in history. So I wouldn't watch that.
Wow, imagine Kevin Hart and Blade Runner. He'd be like, Harrison, get back here. Get back here. Now, Jamie, how about you?
I'm going to say my favorite series, which obviously is The Walking Dead. And Shyla, I fucking hate him, as we all know. So I think he could definitely pull off like a Rick Grimes, that sort of like bad, or not bad, but like, I think he could definitely pull off the look. And I don't think I would hate it, even though I don't like him. I just think that there's a whole bunch of other characters, as I mentioned before, that sort of hold up that show for me. So it's not, you know, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not going to watch it because he's in it. You know, like I watch Transformers and things like that. So, yeah, I'm going to say that even though I don't like him as an actor or a person even, that I would still, yeah, I'd still watch my favorite series with him in it as the main character in it. Yeah.
Say, I think out of all of us three, though, I think that's like the most one that actually could work.
The sensible, yeah. Yeah.
I tell you one that doesn't work that Rudy says here. Imagine The Rock in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh no. Everyone else has got a normal body type, and then there's just The Rock out
This
here.
big cloud. Oh, dear.
Oh man, you can imagine in that movie though, Tarantino would want to see The Rock's feet in one scene, though, right? Got his big muscly foot in the one scene.
Can you imagine him doing that slow-mo walk in the suit and like George Baker's playing the little green bag? I love it.
Jason says, could they make a horror musical? Well, they made Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
that's the one I can think of.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There is one, I haven't seen it. I think it might be more of a Christmas movie, but I think it was called something like Annie Saves the World, and it was like a blood and gore musical type thing. I might have butchered that entirely, but it looks quite interesting, and I just never got around to seeing it, unfortunately.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
I think that's what it's called, Annie Saves the World. I hope I haven't got that horribly wrong and I've just made up a name, but I think it's something like that.
So I'm gonna have a little look. Actually, I've never heard of that. So what? Annie Saves the World.
I think it's called Annie Saves the World, and I think it's like a Christmas horror musical, from what I understand. So they break out in song and dance, and then someone will get horribly killed, and there'll be a lot of blood.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm just having a little look now. Actually,
I've probably got the name wrong, I reckon.
There's one coming up here called Annie's World, but I think that's a different movie completely.
Oh, I might have got the title wrong. I might have to do some digging and find out what one it is that I was thinking of.
I'd be intrigued to watch that though.
Yeah, if I find what it is, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, please do. That sounds actually awesome, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's definitely not Amityville Christmas. There's
yeah,
definitely not
yeah.
Well, who knows? By this stream, it could be. We don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna start writing that pitch, guys.
Rudy says, "Mike, if I send you Cat and you're kind of obligated to watch it." Nah, not really. I can always say I didn't get it. So, and Cinematic says, "Yo, Mike, Malignant is getting a series." Oh, fucking hell, I hope not. I don't know about you guys, but it was definitely one of my worst movies of last year by far. That police scene with the CG, don't get me started on this stream. I don't know, do you guys like Malignant?
No, I haven't heard of it. I was just laughing at you dropping the F-bombs so many times in this stream. You're really heated.
Well, don't get me started on Minions, because that would be one to go on.
Yeah.
So imagine this for a movie: Adam Sandler in Train to Busan.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you hate Adam Sandler. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh wow! Adam Sandler in a zombie movie. I would actually like to see that, to be honest.
Me too. I think it'd be kind of interesting.
I'm morbidly curious.
Yeah, it'd be
Well,
funny.
especially recently, he's had a lot of serious roles, to be honest. So
Yeah, that's true.
how nice is that? Oh, imagine Sarah Jessica Parker in Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not a fan.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Roddy loves Malignant. He thinks it's good. I've got Jacob saying one of my favorite musicals, Little Shop of Horrors, which has horror elements. Yeah, for sure. I've never seen it, but yeah, of course I know of it. I think a lot of people do. And Little Yellow Pricks for Minions. Yeah, that's perfectly how to describe them. So we're caught up on the comments. So with that in mind, what I want to do is just take around to each one of my guests. Jamie, I'm going to start with you first. And you want to just let everyone know a little bit about what content you've got coming up.
Yeah. Well, last night I watched Don't Worry, Darling. So I'm going to do a review of that one. And I've got the Star Wars with Jacob coming out and an interview with one of the ladies who was in Cobra Kai. She was on the All Valley Committee team. And then, all the Walking Dead stuff that's coming out at the moment. So obviously I'm going to be doing reviews on that. And last night also was She-Hulk. And finally it was a decent episode. So I'm going to do a review on that one. We finally get to see Daredevil, which was probably the most exciting part of the whole series so far. So a few mixture of things.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, well, you can find the link to Jamie's channel in the description box below. Got some awesome content coming up. I did actually see a clip the other day on the internet of Daredevil in She-Hulk. And I was like, oh, it looks all right, to be honest. So
sorry, you broke up then. What was that?
So I was just saying, I saw a clip online of Daredevil in that She-Hulk episode. And
it was super exciting. But, oh my God, so many. I know it's a show and I know it's unrealistic and you have to expect these things, but God, man, like, don't get me wrong, I was so happy to see him. The fight scenes were awesome. His chemistry and stuff with Jen was awesome, but oh my God, some of the stuff is just like, that wouldn't happen. That's not Matt. You know, that's not Matt Murdock. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it on this stream like you, but and then same with the Don't Worry, Darling thing. Like, I thought it was quite good, but I've got so many questions that I'll ask you guys. I know you and Elliot saw it after the stream when there's no spoilers, but I'm like, what the hell? So many questions. Anyway, that's what's coming up.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, some awesome content. And again, Jimmy's link is in the description box below, so please go subscribe to her channel. Norin, how about yourself? What have you got coming up on your channel?
Well, for sure, tomorrow, Hellraiser drops, I believe, on Hulu. So I'll be doing a review for the new Hellraiser with Jamie Clayton. And then I'm, like I said, planning my supernatural themed reviews, counting down to like my top 10 supernatural movies and stuff like that. And I don't think anything else right now. It's just kind of like that horror themed stuff. Hellraiser is the main new one. And then I might do like a Hocus Pocus 2 one because I did see it. I did kind of enjoy it. So I might do a review for that one.
Sweet. Yeah, awesome, man. I actually forgot about Hellraiser tomorrow as well.
Yep.
Elliot, do you know if we get that on Disney Plus?
I'm not sure. I have noticed a trend. When they release in America, we seem to get them like 2 weeks later. So I'm still hanging in there to see if we're getting it or not. I've heard pretty good things so far. So the thing is I haven't seen all of the Hellraisers. I've only seen the first 2, I think it was. So I'm also a bit worried. Maybe I need to watch all of them to know what's going to happen in this one, or if this is this a complete sort of refresh, new take on it?
Yeah, so this is going to be a new rehash, and it's a retelling of Clive Barker's original novella, The Hellbound Heart. So I don't think you really have to see like all the other 11 to watch this one.
Okay, thank God. Yeah.
Horror. Such a long, drawn out.
At least it's not the Amityville series, and I've got to do 40 of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I really want to watch the Karen one.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, with the Hellraisers, Elliot, I've seen the first 3.
Yeah.
And after the first one, it just kind of went like that. So I can't imagine what got to like number 11. I can't imagine what that one was like. But I think as they go along, like Clive Barker's involvement was like non-existent. Just his name was on it because obviously he created it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard good things about the new one though. So I hope we get it. But yeah, either way, please go check out Norin's channel. Link is in the description box below. He's got some awesome reviews coming up and some awesome rankings to lead up to Halloween as well with the Supernatural list coming very shortly. And Elliot, how about yourself? What have you got coming up?
Yeah, so as mentioned, we've got Amsterdam at some point over this weekend. We are still doing the new regular releases in amongst the Halloween madness, but the vast majority will be Halloween madness. So we've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre original review coming up. I also recently sat down and watched Don't Look Now for the first time. It's not your sort of traditional scary movie. It's more of a psychological film, but I was really taken by it, and I feel like I've got quite a lot to say about it. So I am going to sit down and do a review for that at some point in the coming weeks. And just a cheesy, fun one that I know it's awful, but I still enjoy it. Freddy versus Jason. I am going to sit down and watch that and do a review for it in the coming weeks as well. So yeah, quite a lot of horror madness coming up on I.M.O Reviews.
Awesome. Yeah, so please go check out Elliot's channel as well. Link is in the description box below. He's got a really cool Halloween intro right now. Which, how long did it take?
Sorry, you should do this.
Yeah.
Really
I don't know how well you guys can see it on the camera, but yeah.
That is terrible. It looks deep as shit.
It was, yeah. It was pretty stupid of me. But filming it wasn't so bad. It was just more that I was doing it in my back garden, and it's quite an open back garden. So I could definitely see my neighbours in their conservatory looking out the window like, what is he doing out there wearing an apron and carrying knives around, and he's covered in blood. And I sort of had to sort of go, hi, yeah, you're right, just to make them all calm down and think I'm not up to anything weird. But to film it, I think it probably only took about 2 or 3 hours to film. It took longer to edit, actually, getting filters, sound effects, that sort of thing. And the filming only took so long because, well, I nearly had to go to hospital. So it wouldn't have taken so long if I didn't try to chop my finger off.
Yeah, man. Please go over Elliot's channel and check out the Halloween intro. It is awesome. But yeah, I'm glad he didn't lose a finger or two in the process. Yeah, so he's got some awesome reviews coming up, what all my guests have. As for myself, I just dropped a Matilda the Musical review last night, which has come out in late November UK, early December in America. Australia, I have no idea when that's coming out.
I'm not sure either.
And at the weekend, on Saturday, I've got a review for Lyle Crocodile, which is early screener, I think, comes out next week, I think, properly. With the crocodiles voiced by Shawn Mendes, so that's going to be interesting. Right,
crazy.
I think it's just like his debut as well into Hollywood. He's voicing a crocodile and singing as a crocodile.
Bloody hell! What's his lines? There's nothing holding him back. Oh, lordy. That's going to be interesting.
I dread to think, but yes, that'll be coming at the weekend. I've got a couple of other comments. Cinematic says Seth Rogen in Bloodsport for his favorite movie actor. I would love to see that. Ruddy says if we did favorite actor and least favorite film, I'd have Brad Pitt in Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
that's fair. Well, it can't be worse than some of them in there anyway. We've got Soap saying, sorry I missed the stream, catch up on House of Dragon. Yeah, no worries. So thank you for tuning in. We've got Joe saying, just want to say what a lovely set of guests on tonight's stream. Well, thank you, Joe, for watching.
Thank you.
And Joe is like, neighbour, have you seen what Elliot is doing outside? What are you doing?
Especially if they've been watching like Dharma or something, you know what I mean? Like that would be so creepy seeing you come out with like, you know, like cutting shit up, body parts specifically, like coming away with a finger in a bag or something.
I knew there was something about that lad. I just knew it.
He spends his nights alone. He drinks a lot of beer.
I'm watching all of the horror movies on a really low volume. I don't want to raise any flags.
Right.
I think you've done that already by being out in the shed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to all my guests. I want to say a big thank you to Elliot, Jamie Lee at In the Front Row, Elliot I.M.O Reviews, and Norin Radd89. All their links are in the description box below, so please go subscribe to them. And thank you to all of you who have been tuning in live after the fact. And until the next time that we'll see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.